The Alabama Crimson Tide lost their second game of the season on Saturday to the Tennessee Volunteers, and while everyone is calling for head coach Kalen Deboer to be fired, I think it's too early to give him the boot. You asked for it and we delivered. It's Fan Friday, and you, the fans, chose today's topic for Point of View. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know if you think Kalen Deboer should be let go of his coaching duties. I understand the reasons that many believe he should. I really do. Bama is a premier college football program, and anything less than the best is a failure. And Saturday's loss to the Vols was far from the best performance they've put out on the field. Jalen Milroe threw 2 interceptions, they were outgained on the ground by nearly 150 yards, and the defense couldn't hold a fourth quarter lead. And to put the cherry on top, wideout Kendrick Law was given an unsportsmanlike penalty in the final minutes of the game that helped the Vols push their lead to 7. They just haven't looked like the Alabama we've gotten used to, and that's not a good reflection of their first-year head coach. Former head coach Nick Saban was even asked about DeBore on the Pat McAfee show last Friday about how much time he thinks the rookie coach will get. His response was, quote, "They don't have a lot of patience at Alabama. They have high expectations. You can't get caught up in that," end quote. So although DeBore is just 7 games into his Alabama tenure, it's clear that Bama won't hesitate to pull the plug if they think it's necessary. And he definitely didn't help his case much with this answer when asked what his message is to the players following the loss.
I told him in there, these are the speeches I'm not good at, and, there's inward, that you gotta look inward first and make sure, that everything you're doing is right. And then, anyone that you sense that has any type of questioning, you got to make sure you bring them with. I don't question the fight. I don't question the prep. I don't question the work that was put in. And these guys, came ready, and we just can't mesh right now the offense and defense together and play great team football. There's times when we got to be able to separate ourselves and have that killer instinct. And right now, we don't do that. And it's not like they're not trying. It's just the execution needs to be better.
Woof. I don't know which part of that was worse. Admitting he doesn't know what to say to his players, or that he just kind of stumbled through the rest of that answer. It certainly wasn't inspiring, and I totally understand the perspective that he should get canned. But I have to remind everyone that while this is the first time since 2007 that Alabama will enter November with more than 1 loss, that was also the first year with Nick Saban at the helm. Now, to be very clear, I'm not saying DeBore is the coach that Saban was for nearly 2 decades, but he should be given more time. And he can't be given all the blame for this tough start either, because it's definitely on the players just as much, if not more so. But before we get more into that, here are the results of this week's poll question. Thanks to everyone who voted. Look out for another question on Monday. But back to the issues on the field. It all starts under center with Jalen Milroe. After finishing 6th in the Heisman Trophy race last year, Milroe has failed to take advantage of opportunities time and time again. He's dead last among SEC QBs in touchdown pass to interception ratio. When playing against conference opponents, he's struggled with accuracy, and he's relied way too much on Ryan Williams to bail the offense out. And that's just a problem that DeBore has to work through, because switching out a former Heisman contender for the backup QB Ty Simpson, who likely would have many of the same issues, could completely ruin the locker room if it didn't go well. But as it stands, the Tide ranks 7th in rushing yards per game and 8th in passing yards per game among SEC teams. Milroe has to look in the mirror, because he's a huge part of the problem. If you disagree with me there, then you disagree with the man himself. Here's what Milroe had to say after the game when asked what he thinks is holding the offense back.
I got to take full ownership of that. When it comes to communication up front, communication to the guys around, I got to do better on my end with playing with better detail, communication up front, and allowing our guys to line up properly with the communication. So that's something that, going back, that's something we're just going to build on and get better at. And something that I acknowledged, as we were playing. So it's all about building, it's all about regrouping, and then also acknowledging where we were not our best at today.
Obviously, that's what you want to hear from your star QB. You want to hear him take full ownership, even in the case that it isn't true. But here, I think a lot of it is true, and it can't be fixed with a coaching change. If we really want to get to the root of the issues as a whole, it all started last season while Nick Saban was still in charge. That team made the college football playoffs, but they likely wouldn't have had they not converted a 4th and goal from the 31-yard line against Auburn. And we can't forget the locker room drama that occurred earlier last year when Saban did bench Milroe. It's just another factor that leads me to believe this is just as much an issue with the players as it is with the coach. So I know it's not in their blood, but be patient with DeBore. He's been successful his entire career, and there's still plenty of time for him to fix the team's issues before the season is completely out of hand. If they can get a huge win against Missouri this weekend, that could be enough to turn the tides and get them right back into college football playoff contention. And in more positive news, former Bama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is expected to return to the field this Sunday after another scary head injury a few weeks ago. For more on why I think Tua won't and shouldn't give up the game of football, check out this past episode of Point of View. Enjoy the weekend. We hope to see you again next week.